everybody, welcome to General Hospital Envy, my GH after show. Let's cut right into it. Alright, so last week Sunny figured out that Mike removed the body from where it was buried and he's determined to find out where it actually is. He tries to ask Mike about it, but Mike has another Alzheimer's episode. He forgets the conversation, he forgets about the body and everything. Mike and Sunny both get frustrated just in time for the DA, Margot, to walk in on it. She takes full advantage of the situation. Guys, can we take a vote on how long it'll take Margot to sleep with Sunny? I mean, we've seen it with Alexis, we've seen it with Reese, we've seen it with Claire. It's only due time. But anyway, back to Mike. It seems that he has history with the former owner of Charlie's Pub. The real Charlie, but it appears that Mike knew him not in Port Charles, but from elsewhere in the neighborhood. It looks like Sunny's gonna have to do some research. Alright, elsewhere in Port Charles, even though Lulu and Maxie appeared to bury the hatchet the other day, it looks like Maxie is still cold towards Lulu. Turns out Lulu is gonna have to work a lot harder to earn Maxie's trust again, which isn't that surprising. Although I think Lulu was taken aback by it. Come on girl, you are partially responsible for her husband's death. Not sole responsibility, but regardless, responsible. Now Maxie is determined to find Peter, but Lulu's a little busy with another case, that case being the GH2 hashtag. Kiki has been having to deal with the fallout of her article. There are some doctors that are giving her the cold shoulder. Although it seems that a lot of the nurses have her back, Amy being one of them. Amy admits that she hasn't personally dealt with sexual harassment in the workplace. She has dealt with sexism among the staff, as well as people making fun of her weight. Now unfortunately for Kiki, Lulu, and Alexis, unless someone comes forward saying that they too have been harassed by Dr. Bensch, there's not much hope for Kiki in her case. However, Francesca at the end of the week admitted that she too has been harassed by Dr. Bensch herself. Honestly, I called it last week. I said that Francesca hasn't been seen in a while, and it looks like she appeared at the end of the week and admitted it. So I was right, and I am bragging about it. I mean, if it wasn't gonna be Amy, it had to be Francesca, right? Oh, but let's back up and talk about Alexis, because she came face to face with Dr. Bensch, who asked her for her legal services, but she revealed that she's working for Kiki. Loved those scenes. I love that the women are sticking together on this one. Now, even though Alexis is working with Kiki on this, she's still got some of her own stuff to sort out. She actually convinces Julian to sit in a therapy session with her and Kevin to resolve their unresolved issues. And true to form, Julian starts to whine about being wrecked through the coals about this situation. He can't seem to admit that regardless of the excuses he gives, the fact of the matter is Alexis became a drunk mess because of his actions. All Alexis wants is to break the cycle of bad men in her life, and I can't blame her at this point. Woman has picked some real winners in the past, Julian included. And anyway, Julian is with Kim now, so he shouldn't even care. Speaking of Julian and Kim, we have to back up to the beginning of the week when they were with Obrecht at the campsite, because they heard Peter screaming, and I can't even say this with a straight face. Obrecht just decides to scream back and say it's part of her scream therapy, and they bought it. They bought it. I mean, I kind of get buying it because Obrecht is that kind of weird person, but come on. Personally, for me, curiosity would have gotten the best of me and I would have gone to look for the person that was screaming. So Dr. Obrecht keeps on holding Peter hostage, and she even got that rattlesnake out of his bed. Man, the thing that I'm wondering is, has Peter had to use the washroom at any point? I mean, they've given him food and water, so like, is he just, you know, doing his business in the bed? I'm sure if they uncuffed him at some point, he could easily get away. Regardless, I'm kind of ready for the storyline to move forward already. Pretty much every time that we've seen Peter, he's always trying to convince Nina to let him go, but Nina doesn't budge. At the end of the week, Valentine was trying to win her back, as he does, and she kind of let it slip that she may have done something to someone, and Valentine saying, I will help you solve the problem. I really don't want him to solve the problem. I am seriously a Nina fan. I want Nina to move forward and find someone else to love. I mean, sure, this lie was out in the open, but we know that there's a lot of secrets that he is keeping from her still. You know the saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me 100 times, shame on me. Nina, move on. Alright, now let's talk about Stella, Curtis, and Jordan. It seems that Stella is coming up with something to break those two apart secretly. Jordan is well aware that she will never truly win Stella over, but Stella is just saying, I just want my nephew to be happy. She secretly makes a call to one of Curtis's ex-lovers. I'm sorry, Stella, but your plan is not going to work. Now at the time, the three of them were having dinner at the Metro Court, and Curtis leaves to help Sam, and then, randomly, Stella finds some keys on the floor and turns them into the lost and found. You know what else is in that lost and found? The flash drive. How on earth is anybody relevant gonna find this thing in a lockbox for the lost and found? Carly's the owner of the hotel, but she's kind of in lockdown at the moment. Olivia is co-owner, but I doubt she's gonna find it anytime soon either. But can we universally agree that we're ready for the storyline to be done and over with at this point? Because I'm so sick of it. It's dragging on forever. Either give Drew back his memories or don't, but just let's be done with it for good. Anyway, Curtis joined up with Sam to look into Peter's room to see if they could find the flash drive themselves. And it turns out that that room no longer belongs to Peter. It belongs to the DA, Margot. Hopefully she doesn't place them under arrest. Not a great first situation for Ashford and McCall to be in. Thought you guys were better than that. Now, I've made it no secret that I am not a fan of Elizabeth and Franco, mainly because of Franco. I despise the man, I despise the character, I want him off the show. But I will talk about their story for a bit. Franco has been trying to get Elizabeth's family involved with the wedding. He contacted Sarah, who contacted Elizabeth to wish her congratulations, but she couldn't make it. However, Sarah went onto her Facebook, or her MySpace, or her her MyFace. One of those things, and she made a status, and some mystery person liked that status. Could be her mother, could be her father, who knows. Guess that means we'll be seeing at least one of Elizabeth's parents soon. MacGyver, where you at? Alright, last but not least, let's talk about Carly, Nelle, Chase, the whole situation. Nelle decides to fill Michael in on her and Chase's history, but the story that she tells is very different from the story that Chase remembers. We actually got to see the story play out in two different ways. Gotta hand it to the hair and makeup people. They actually did a good job at making Chase and Nelle seem a lot younger, especially Chase. I'm so used to seeing Chase as a little scruffalo, but he had a completely shaven face, which gave him an ultimate baby face and even a haircut. It kind of makes me wonder if these scenes were shot in advance, or if they shot them and then went on break so that his hair could grow back and his facial hair could grow back. Either way, we got to see Chase in nothing but a towel. Thank you, GH, this gay man appreciates it. Ooh, but speaking of gay men, we saw Brad and Lucas for a split second, gushing over babies. I'm so scared for them. Nelle better not be that baby's mom. Alright, but back to it. Nelle had supposedly gotten a delivery by Chase, but thanks to Spinelli's wizard-like computer skills, Michael finds out that she had it delivered to herself. Joss had also shown up to the house, and both her bag and Nelle's bag fell to the floor. Joss ends up with Morgan's cologne that was in Nelle's bag, and I was like, oh snap! Looks like there's finally a light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe not for Carly though. Carly is still in lockdown. Jason is there with her. Kevin spotted him and wants him out of there. He kind of makes a valid point. If anyone were to recognize Jason as Jason, Carly would be screwed. And it might get Kevin in trouble too if anyone finds out that he knows that he's Jason. Then Carly would have nobody in the crazy house. Regardless of the risk, Carly still wants Jason there. Now at the end of the segment, at the end of the week, we hear a mystery patient screaming in terror. Jason asks Kevin who the patient in the room is, and Kevin just stares at him blankly. Now there have been a lot of theories among the fans flying around as to who it could be. There are people saying that it could be Ryan, Kevin's twin brother. There are people saying that it could be Morgan in there. There's even people saying that it's Heather, despite the manly scream. On the flip side, there are also people saying that it's Kevin in the room and that Ryan has been parading around as Kevin the entire time. Throughout the months, there have been a few times where Kevin seems a little bit off. So my question to you folks is, who do you believe is behind those closed doors? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, now before I end this episode of GH Envy, you should go and check out the Stone Cold and Jackal podcast. Haley Aaron, aka Kiki Jerome, is a part of it, and it's worth a listen. You should check it out. And also, I already told you guys I'm doing a GH Top 10 in honor of Dante Falconeri, aka Dominic Zampronia. Let me know what your favorite scenes are of him, and I will put them on that list for you. So yeah, let me know. And if you like this video, give it a big old thumbs up, and subscribe if you want to. I do these videos every Sunday, and I will catch you guys next week.